Hi, I'm Patrick, and this is the Mach-E vlog. You may have heard that the Tesla Supercharger network is opening up. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, starting here with a charge point charger. So let's go. We drove our Mach-E out here to pick up a Julian pie. We're actually in Santa Isabel, California. It's only about 50 miles from where we live out in Oceanside, so we don't need to charge out here. But if we did, this is like our only charging option. It's a level 2 charge point charger. But let's take a walk over here because there are Tesla Superchargers out here, sort of in a remote area of San Diego County. And it's not a huge installation of Tesla Superchargers, but there are quite a few. Now, as I was saying, you may have heard that the Tesla Superchargers are opening up. That's going to take place over some time. It's going to take a little while. We got to get out of the way of this truck here. And it's not going to be all of them, and it's not going to be immediate. It's not going to be a switch. It's just flipped, and then all of a sudden, all of the chargers are going to work. Basically, they're going to start opening them up slowly at first, and there are not many details. We don't know where they're going to be opening up first. We don't know if it's going to be existing ones like this or only brand new ones. We don't know if, like, this is, I think, an 8 stall. We don't know if it's going to be like 2 of the 8 stalls will be CCS and the rest will be Tesla. We think, from what the rumors is that they're going to have what's called a magic dock. And right now, like, you take the Tesla plug, you take it out and you plug it into a Tesla. But if you have a CCS car and you activate it, it'll know in the app that you're trying to charge a CCS car. And when you disconnect it from the stall, it will unlock basically an adapter and keep that attached to the handle. And then you plug that into a CCS car like the Mach-E or Ioniq 5 or whatever. So that'll be a very cool little setup if they do that. That's a pretty cool little system. Right now they're saying you'll have to activate it with the Tesla website or Tesla app, which is not a big downside. But to get NEVI funding, which is the EV infrastructure funding, they're going to have card readers or be able to activate via phone using a credit card. The whole point is like not requiring you to install an app or have an account with a company to be able to charge. So that's a little bit complicated, but for now it looks like they're going to start opening them up by using the app or the website, which is fine with me. That's how I activate ChargePoint and whatnot. There are going to be some issues. Of course, not knowing which ones are opening up, that's going to take us a while to learn all of that, but it'll start showing up in the app. It looks like there'll be some type of designation like they do in Europe that'll let you know, like, is this one open to CCS vehicles or not? But you can see, like, in this configuration here, it would be very hard for us to get the Mach-E charging because they're pulled or backed in. The charge port on the Tesla is right there on the end. On the Mach-E, because it's on the side of the car, it might be hard to get that cable to reach. Pause for a second for motorcycles. So that's one of the issues, is that the cable just simply won't reach. Even if it did on this one, a lot of times, like if I didn't use like the one on the end because of the position of the charging cable location on the Mach-E or charging port, I would have to pull in and take up the wrong spot to charge with a Tesla Supercharger. So that's going to be another hurdle to get past. There's just going to be a little bit of logistical problem like that. And if they don't convert like all of the stalls at a location to CCS, it could be that a Tesla is using the 2 of 8 stalls that are designated CCS. So if those 2 are full, even though it's an open supercharger, just may not be able to charge there. Those are all little hurdles and stuff. I'm sure Tesla is thinking about how they can get around that. I don't know. Nobody really knows. A lot of speculation is going into locations and where they're going to open them up first. I think, in my opinion, what they're going to probably do is go into like the larger locations that aren't full or busy a lot of times. So down here in Southern California, there's so many Teslas here, you'll run into a lot of stations where there's waits or just nearly full. Lots of noisy vehicles out here. But that doesn't mean that there are, some opportunities. I've been talking about online, like at Green River, Utah. There's a 4-stall EA station just down the street from a supercharger. I think it's like a 12-stall there, maybe 16. Fairly big. I think that's a good one that they could open up, and wouldn't necessarily need it because the EA is right down the street, but it would be a great backup option because that one makes you nervous because it's such a big gap for the next closest charging in any direction. It'd be nice to have the option if the EA charger was full or not working. So hopefully that's where they're going to target. There's no telling right now where they're actually going to target. And of course, a lot of people are asking, like, one of the big questions is why is Tesla doing this now? My real answer is, like, I don't care. Some people think it's because they're trying to get tax dollars or they're going to try to make money off of CCS. Who cares? Who cares why they're doing it? It's going to be more options. This is a positive for us. People that have non-Teslas to be able to charge. Like, we don't necessarily need to charge here to get out here and back for where we live, but it'd be sort of cool to hop into the Pi company that's right over there behind us and then be able to charge at the same time, fast charge, and not use a level 2 charger, because that would get us 20 miles of range while we eat pie. This would get us like a full charge. So there's a huge difference, and hopefully that's something that will be opening up relatively soon in the next few months. So now that they just pulled out and left, this is like a perfect example. If I had the Mach-E, I would have to come in front and would try to reach with that cable, which would be somewhat difficult for me to reach to the Mach-E on this one. So I'm not sure how this one would even work just because of these front things. And of course, they wouldn't want to remove these because they don't want people to hit the supercharger. So there's going to be complications like that. There's also been some talk like this could be a very good thing for people like that have shorter range EVs. But then the problem with some of those shorter range EVs is they don't charge as fast. And will that create some like backlog at the Tesla Superchargers because people that have like 50 kilowatt charging or about that, plugging into one of these that can do like 250 kilowatts, it'll create some backlog. Let's move out of the way. There's somebody that might want to charge right now. There's still a lot of unknowns. They threw out some big numbers. A lot of that included their destination chargers. But if you look at the number of superchargers, I've seen anywhere of an estimate of 12 to 20% will be open to non-Teslas. But that's still a huge number being added to the CCS charging networks. Everybody talks about Tesla Superchargers don't have any issues, but there's one isuue that doesn't matter if it's a Tesla Supercharger or a CCS charger. Of course, we got down here, we have a couple of ICE vehicles icing the supercharger spots. So it is what it is. The signs actually say 60-minute general parking. It doesn't say EV only parking or vehicle charging only. Actually, oh, okay, so these say charging only. The others are whatever parking. So anyways, still is disappointing to see that that's allowed here. Before we go, I do want to thank our patrons. We're going to scroll their names all across here. Thank you to our Unbridled, our Engaged, and of course, as we always say, thank you to our Whisper patrons. Those are the ones that help us get out here and make all of these cool videos. So thank you so much for watching this whole video. Lots of speculation. Overall, quick summary is Tesla opening up their superchargers is a positive. Whether we use them or not, who knows, but more options are always good. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Subscribe. We're going to do lots more of these type of videos, hopefully without as many noisy vehicles in the background. We'll try to visit one of these superchargers when it opens up and see if we could actually get a charge out of it, see if it's seamless, see how it works, all of that good stuff. So anyways, I better wrap it up. As Liv would say, since she's just holding the camera, no matter what you drive, enjoy the ride.